Workplace safety, the basics. Audio is required for this course. Please make sure you have a device that plays audio and the audio is enabled. The player seek bar is currently disabled. The audio must finish playing before you can advance to the next slide. About this course. It is important that you are aware of common hazards in the workplace and tools and techniques to keep yourself safe. Some situations will be specific to working in an organization, a home, or the community. Learning objectives. When you finish this course, you will be able to describe the importance of workplace safety, recognize potential hazards in residential, home, and community settings, maintain a safe work environment by preventing accidents. Hazards in the workplace. Select one of the following hazard topics below. Fire safety. Responding quickly, effectively, and safely to fire or potential fire is critical. In an emergency fire situation, always smother the fire with blankets or towels. Pour water on the flames to extinguish. Go back in the building until everyone is evacuated. Call 911. Correct. In an emergency fire situation, always call 911. Fires are situations immediately dangerous to life and health. A small fire can spread and intensify in as little as 3 minutes, creating what is known as a flashover, a situation where the fire and gases are so hot all items in a room auto-ignite. For your safety as well as the safety of others, know the location of all exits. Ensure that you can always get to and through all exits. Know the location of fire extinguishers. Know the location of all fire alarm pull stations. Communicate clearly to fire personnel the location of the fire, trapped or unaccounted for persons, and any possible hazards nearby. For example, stored chemicals, compressed gases, etc. Know where to meet after evacuation. In case of a fire, remember to race. Protect yourself and others from injury by using the fire extinguisher correctly. Remember to pass, pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. Click on each part of the extinguisher to learn more. Aim at the base of the fire. Squeeze the extinguisher trigger. Pull the pin on the extinguisher. Sweep across the base of the fire from side to side. If an individual's clothes are on fire, you should use a sheet or blanket to smother the flames while protecting their airway. Never use blank in the case of a fire. Fire extinguisher, a blanket to smother the flames, an elevator, a phone to call 911. Correct. If there is a fire or you suspect a fire, never use an elevator. You can help prevent fire deaths and injuries in an individual's home. One of the most important actions you can take is to encourage the individual or caregiver to purchase smoke detectors and test them regularly. Smoke detectors should be tested every 6 months. Batteries should be replaced every year. If the person you serve cannot install smoke detectors safely, call your local fire department for public assistance doing so. Emergency preparedness. Individuals in your care may be unable to care for themselves. They depend on you to protect or advise them during emergencies, such as floods, power outages, bomb threats, or other emergencies. During an emergency, communicate clearly, calmly, and simply. When you plan for an emergency, which of the following are necessities that you should store in case they are inaccessible? Food, water, medications, extra shoes and clothing, music for morale. Although this may be nice to have, it is not a necessity. Although this may be nice to have, it is not a necessity. Correct. Food, water, and medications are necessities that you should store in case they are inaccessible when planning for an emergency. Most experts advise storing at least a 96-hour supply of food, water, and essential items in a secure, waterproof container. You should check with your organization to learn what their standard is. For example, some may require 10 days, so check with your organization, local regulations, and policy. Plan to evacuate if indicated or advised by emergency personnel. Remember to have packed a go bag with key personal items, for example, cash, IDs, copies of important documents, clothes, toiletries, medicines, etc. Know the following: how to evacuate the building or home, where safe meeting places, shelters, or operational healthcare centers are located, how you and those in your care will reach shelters. Different emergencies require different responses. In all emergencies, though, one person will always be in charge. Know who is in charge. This person is responsible for ensuring everyone's safety. For some care providers, essential items may include backup power sources such as a battery or generator, medications, oxygen, and other medical supplies. You are responsible for knowing your employer's emergency policies and procedures. Some emergency procedures utilize a telephone tree to reach personnel, while others have more advanced electronic notification systems to ensure fast, effective communication. Make sure your employer has up-to-date contact information for every person and know who you are supposed to contact. Hazard communication. You walk into a kitchen at work and there is a distinct odor and bottle with liquid spilled onto the floor. What should you do? Quickly clean up the liquid. Read the label on the bottle to see what the liquid is so you can follow up with its data sheet and ensure safety. Seal off the area and call 911. Lean in close to smell the liquid and see if you can identify it. Incorrect. This is probably overkill and you should identify the liquid before calling 911. Potentially hazardous chemical products are everywhere. Some of these substances are not major health threats, while others can be lethal. Manufacturers are required to provide labels for all hazardous materials. Read container labels for important safety information, such as the one you found spilled on the floor. OSHA requires chemical manufacturers to supply safety data sheets, SDSs, to all product users. Your employer must provide employees with an SDS for every hazardous chemical your workplace uses. The SDS and product label both include information such as the chemical name, manufacturer contact information, and proper storage. Most importantly, the SDS includes measures to protect yourself from exposure and procedures to follow if you are exposed, as well as other key information specific to that chemical regarding cleanup, disposal, firefighting, etc. If you are taking hazardous chemicals with you in the community, make sure you have reviewed the transport section of the chemicals SDS to know if any precautions need to be made during transport. Back injury prevention and transfers. Studies show that healthcare workers are at twice the risk of job-related injuries, especially back injuries, as workers in other fields. Your employer provides policies, procedures, and equipment to help prevent back injury. You can help protect your back from injury by learning and practicing good body mechanics, such as having good posture. Body mechanic principles. This helps your body stay aligned during lifting. This maintains your back's natural arch when you lift. Pivot your feet, not your waist. Most back injuries occur when you try to lift an object that is too heavy for you to lift alone. Get help. You should hold the object close. This lessens the load, making you more effective. Actually, you should spread your feet apart, placing them shoulder width apart, with one foot slightly in front of the other keeps you more stable. You should actually exhale as you lift. This focuses your energy, making the lift easier. This is not a safe practice. You should bend your knees when you lift, as this lets the large muscles of your hips and legs do the heavy lifting. Staying limber can help reduce back injuries. Using lifting equipment appropriately and following company safety protocols will help protect your back. When lifting or transferring an individual, protecting yourself and the person needing assistance is critical. Become familiar with practice controls, such as policies and procedures that identify individuals with special needs. Use these engineering controls to lessen the work of moving an individual. Gait belts, transfer boards, electric beds, lift chairs. Consider the individual's needs and abilities before lifting, including the level of assistance required, the individual's height and weight, the individual's ability to understand and willingness to cooperate, any medical condition that may influence the lift. One of the most important things you can do to transfer an individual safely is to ask for help. Every employee is responsible for practicing safe body mechanics and seeking assistance when needed. Slips, trips, and falls. Slips, trips, and falls are common causes of workplace injuries, but you can avoid them by recognizing safety hazards and following safety precautions. To avoid injury, keep walkways well lit and clutter-free. Clear water and other slipping hazards from walkways immediately. Use signs or cones to indicate a hazardous area. Wear shoes with slip-resistant soles. Watch where you step. Use handrails on stairs. Report unsafe situations like loose tiles to a supervisor. For your safety, as well as that of others, remember the following. Pick it up if you drop it. Wipe it up if you spill it. Watch where you are going. If you start to fall, remember the following. Toss the load. This lets you protect yourself instead of objects you are carrying. Relax as much as possible. Try to roll into the fall, turning quickly to look at the spot where your body will hit the ground. To minimize injury, do not extend arms out with locked elbows. Keep arms bent and relaxed to prevent landing on palms of hands and risk wrist injury or fractures.
Which of the following is a possible hazard in the bathroom? Wet floor, non-skid pads in the tub, or adequate lighting? Correct. That's right.
In the bedroom area, you should do all of the following. Ensure that the bed is at a safe height for the individual to get in and out of. Discourage the use of throw rugs. Keep personal items, lamps, and telephones within the individual's reach. Workplace violence. Workplace violence ranges from offensive or threatening language to physical assaults or even death. The rate of workplace violence is much higher in the healthcare environment than in other workplaces. Report all real or suspected threats to your supervisor immediately. Be alert for signals that indicate potential violence. These include the following: angry comments, verbal threats of harm, irritability or irrational behavior, body language such as threatening gestures, signs of drug or alcohol use, a weapon. Which of the following behaviors can help diffuse anger? Present a calm, caring attitude. Match threats of the angered person. Don't give orders. Acknowledge the person's feelings. For example, say, "You're frustrated." Move close to the individual, touch them, and raise the volume of your voice. This behavior will probably make the situation worse. These behaviors will probably make the situation worse. Correct. Presenting a calm, caring attitude, not giving orders, and acknowledging the person's feelings may help to diffuse a person's anger. There is no universal strategy that will prevent violence. Actively participate in security and safety training programs. Be familiar with your employer's violence prevention policies, procedures, and materials. If you find yourself in a workplace violence situation, stay calm and remove yourself from the situation as soon as possible. Call security and 911. Do not let your escape path become blocked, and report the incident to your supervisor from a safe location. Conclusion. Workplace safety includes creating a safe working atmosphere and securing and safeguarding employees' lives. When you think about workplace safety, remember the following. The key to safety rests in the use of common sense. Employees at all levels of the organization have responsibility for the safety and well-being of the individuals they serve and themselves. Congratulations! You have finished reviewing the course content. Please close this window to proceed.